I've never called him before.
Water?
I don't know if I did.
Sir? He's gone.
See you at the meeting.
All right, thanks everybody for being here tonight. We do have Councilman Pike and Councilman Pepper have called in, so they're on the line. We'll move through this agenda and try to get any of our questions answered, and we'll go from there. First thing on the agenda, there's a presentation Chief Thornton will have, letter of commendation to Lyndon Watkins. Anything? Okay, next is a proclamation, May 2021 being Historic Preservation Month. Mayor?
No change.
Okay. Next we'll have approval of minutes, March 29th, 2021, 5 p.m. work session, April 12th, 2021, 5 p.m. work session, April 16th, 2021, 8:30 a.m. special called work session, April 19th, 2021, 9:30 a.m. work session, and City Council regular meeting, April 19th, 2021, 10 a.m. Any questions there? All right, next we have set a public hearing, ordinance number 21-4460, approved rezoning request 1372-21, 1210 Mill Road, R3 to B6. We'll be setting the public hearing for June 7th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Matt?
Yes, would you like me to come?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. The rezoning 1372-21, it's 0.28 acres. Like you said, it's currently zoned R3. The applicant is Yvette Fuller. It's 1210 Mill Road Southeast. The request is to rezone 0.28 acre parcel from R3 to B6, which is an office district. New zone is B6. Proposed land use, office building. One Decatur future land use, residential low density. One Decatur street typology, it's a minor arterial. The zoning committee did not recommend for approval, and neither did the planning commission.
Okay.
And any questions, I'd be happy to take.
Any questions for Matt? All right, thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Next, we have resolution number 21-96, approved request for an on-premise beer license for Chipotle Mexican Grill of Colorado LLC, doing business as Chipotle Mexican Grill at 1109 Beltline Road, Decatur, Alabama 35601. Kyle.
Good evening, council. This is an application for an on-premise beer license for Chipotle Mexican Grill. It's gone through the process and it's recommended for approval.
Okay, any questions? All right, next is resolution number 21-97, approved transfer request for off-premise beer and wine for Austinville Food Mart Incorporated, doing business as Austinville Shell at 206 Austinville Road, Southwest Decatur, Alabama 35601.
Same off-premise beer and wine. Gone through the process.
Hold on. Somebody needs to mute on the phone.
Bane, I need you to quote that. All right.
We have just heard
Y'all know what that was.
Recommended for approval.
Okay, any other questions, Kyle? All right, next we have resolution number 21-98, approved request for a Class 1 lounge for Natchez Latinas Nightclub LLC at 3709 US Highway 31, Decatur, Alabama 35603.
Same as the previous two. It's gone through the application process and is recommended for approval.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thanks, Kyle. Ordinance number 21-4454, approved rezoning request 1371-21 Deer Road and Upper River Road, Ag 1 to R6.
Mayor and council, this it's a rezoning of approximately 28 acres. Current zone is Ag 1. Applicant is Pew Wright McAnally for Adam Davidson. It's located at 3105 Upper River Road and 3411 Deer Road. The request is to change approximately 28 acres from Ag 1 agricultural zoning to R6 single-family semi-attached residential zoning. New zone will be R6, proposed land use, single-family, semi-attached residential. One Decatur future land use, mixed neighborhood, and Deer Road is a local street, Upper River Road is a minor arterial. Any questions?
Questions for Matt? Okay, that R6 is townhomes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Yes, sir.
All right, the next two, Mr. Lee, resolution number 21-73, authorize abatement of unsafe conditions at 2816 Bunny Lane Southwest, public hearing set on April 5th, 2021. And then resolution number 21-74, authorize abatement of unsafe conditions at 416 Belmead Street Southwest, public hearing set April 5th, 2021.
Yes, sir. On the Bunny Lane property, we made the initial inspection on May the 28th of 20 at the request of the police department while they were executing a search warrant. It was some unsafe conditions were noted, unsafe building notice issued. Since that time, because this was involved in an estate, the occupant who, I guess for lack of a better term, inherited it, had a life estate there. However, should he vacate that premises for, I believe it's 120 days, he lost his right to that property. We've got an email letter in the file from the attorney for the estate saying that they don't oppose the demolition and they agree with it. And they've also indicated that the personal representative of the estate will write us a check if we carry out the demolition. And I asked a question about, well, if that's the case, can't y'all do that? And they were concerned about some liability for the personal representative of the estate that they don't feel like they would have if we do it. But we've made all the notifications and then some that we're required by law to make, and we would ask that y'all authorize the demolition.
Okay.
Then on the Belmead, that's been ongoing for a while, and it's involved in an estate as well. I know we've gotten a lot of complaints, and I know that they've warned the mayor's office out about it on multiple occasions too. That's another one that there was an estate involved, and the deed is not yet gone. The estate's been settled. The judge ordered that a deed from the estate be sent to the mortgage company. That's not happened. However, I do have believe it or not, another letter from that mortgage company's attorney saying that they don't oppose the demolition either. And again, we've made all the notifications required by law and then some, and we would just ask that both of these being a public nuisance, that the council would authorize the demolition.
Thanks, David. Any questions for David? Okay. Next resolutions, resolution number 21-99, approve MUB expenditure of $2,874,575 for sewer pipe rehab using the pipe bursting method, contract B.
Yes, Mr. Ladner, this is Jimmy Evans, Gas, Water, Wastewater Operations Manager with Decatur Utilities. This project will be for the replacement of a total of 29,400 feet of 8-inch and 10-inch clay sewer mains in our collection system, along with 500 service line replacements. This work will take place in our wastewater basin 1 and basin 7. We will be recommending the installation of HDPE pipe via the pipe bursting method. This work is part of DU's ongoing efforts to rehab and replace all of the old defective clay sewer mains within our collection system. which will reduce inflow and infiltration and contribute to our efforts to minimize and mitigate SSOs within the sewer collection system. We opened bids for Contract B on April the 1st. We had a total of 5 responsive bidders, and we will be recommending awarding this contract to Vortex Services out of Houston, Texas, for a total contract price of $2,874,575.
Okay, any questions for Jimmy?
Where is Basin 1 and Basin 7?
Basin 1 is south of Highway 20, over near our wastewater treatment plant, all the way down to almost Moulton Street west, and that translates into Basin 7. So all of that is north of Moulton Street, south of Highway 20.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, the next one is resolution number 21-100, approve MUB expenditure of $3,139,400 for sewer pipe rehab, pipe burst method contract C.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ladner. This will be to replace a total of 25,400 feet of 8-inch and 10-inch clay sewer mains along with 490 service lines. This work will also be performed in Basin 7. A portion of this will be south of the Moulton Street area, which is still within our Basin 7 area. We will be recommending awarding this contract to the same contractor, Vortex Services, out of Houston, Texas. They were the low bidder at a contract price of $3,139,400.
Thanks. Jimmy, any questions? All right, thanks, Jimmy. Resolution number 21-101, approve MUB expenditure of $593,950 for West Chapel Hill water tank interior and exterior coating system. Tom?
Yes, Mr. Ladner, this is Tom Cleveland, Water Resources Manager. This is an expenditure for $593,950 for a surface preparation and application of a coating system for the interior and exterior of the West Chapel Hill tank. This tank is a 2 million gallon capacity tank and was constructed in 1996, and it was last coated during that construction period approximately 24 years ago. We received 6 responsive bids on this project and recommend award to Classic Protective Coatings located in Menominee, Wisconsin. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Thanks, Tom. Okay, resolution number 21-102, declare surplus of municipal vehicles no longer needed by street and environmental services. Becky?
Yes, this is 4 different trucks and 1 garbage truck, all in the Department of Street and Environmental. They're all good candidates for gov deals with the exception of the garbage truck. I think they're planning on scrapping that. Most of them won't start, but they're all still good candidates for gov deals. So.
Okay, any questions?
Hey, yeah, this is Hunter. What year are those pickup trucks? The last 3, is that what you said, Becky?
Yeah, they're one of them's a 1991 Ford, one of them's a 1988 Chevy, one of them's a 2004 Ford, one of them's 2004 Ford, F-150 350.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Becky.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next is resolution number 21-103, award bid number 21-008R for aggregates to Vulcan Materials. Charles?
Yes, sir. This is a standing bid of ours that's run its course. It's been in place for 3 years, so it required a rebid according to state law. The low bidder was Vulcan Materials with another response from Rogers Group. Vulcan was about $7,000 less in total for all the different line items we had.
Okay. Any questions? This is the one we talked about.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Thanks, Charles.
Yes, sir.
All right, resolution number 21-104, authorize the payment of $32,615 to Alabama Department of Environmental Management for the major modification to permit 5203 for adding the 41.41 acre C&D disposal area at Morgan County Regional Landfill. Wanda.
Hi, Wanda Tyler, Landfill and Recycling. Purite McAnally and TTL have completed the preliminary work, and now it's time to submit the application for this major modification for our new C&D site. With that, we have to pay a fee to ADEM, which is $32,615. $32,615. And this will be paid from our enterprise fund, a landfill enterprise fund.
Okay. Any questions for Wanda?
If the application is, if there's a problem with the application, what happens to the funding at that point? Does it just carry on or what?
I'm sorry, in regards to,
The 32,000?
well, 32,000 goes to ADEM, goes to the state. It's a processing fee for the major modification.
That's what I'm saying. So it's an application process, so correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My question is simply if the application, if there's an issue with the application, is there another fee associated with it, or does this 32,000 just travel on?
I'm not sure, there's not, okay.
Okay. Regardless of whether it passes the first time or not, it just carries on throughout the process?
If there's any comments that come back, we would address those comments and reason that there would not be any additional.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Wanda? Thanks, Wanda.
Thank you.
Resolution number 21-105, approve application of CLG grant to resurvey the Second Avenue Historic District. Caroline and Alan. or Ryan?
Yeah,
Tag
we're
team.
tag teaming
Okay.
this. He covers numbers and I cover the fun stuff. This is for the Certified Local Government Grant through the state. It's authorized by the feds. It is for the 2021 to 2022 cycle. This is to resurvey the Second Avenue National Historic Register District, in part because we have business owners asking me about federal tax credits, but the paperwork is so old, it's not fully recognized by the state. And we've had at least one property owner that their building's not within the district boundaries, so I could not help them. And I think the building should be within district boundaries. So this is to resurvey that area and look at expanding the district if it meets qualifications.
Okay.
And Alan?
As Caroline said, this will be for the 2021-2022 cycle. So if awarded, we would just put that in our budget for 2022 fiscal year. So, you know, if awarded, we would do that during the budget process. Okay, so at this point, we don't know if we'd be awarded, but if we were, when the budget comes up, we will just put that, we'll include that in our grant match budget that, as we start the process of our budgeting.
What's the match on that?
The match for this would be $12,400.
Which building exactly is not in the district?
So the district follows portions of Second Avenue, but it misses substantial portions of the cross streets. And so, and I don't remember the name of the building, it may have been on Johnston, I think. And it was a commercial building, and my first thought is, oh, this would meet. And then I pull the district boundaries, and I'm like, so sorry, you're not within the district boundaries. So then we can discuss individual landmark status, but that is very time consuming and has a much higher threshold to reach. It's more challenging to reach the goal that way.
Okay, so we don't know which building you can.
I would have to
Is
go.
Is it the building we discussed?
No, I don't think so. And we have others, because I get questions, I'll get emails from time to time, people asking me, and when I pull up the district map, that's a very old district in terms of when it was surveyed. So there's a lot of buildings outside the district area that would now qualify that did not at the time it was surveyed. So they just didn't even have the boundaries far out. tomorrow morning, the state National Register Coordinator for Alabama is coming up here from Montgomery, and she and I are walking the district together so that she can look at it with me to discuss possibilities.
Would you reach out to me and let me know what the address is on the building that's outside of the district now?
Sure.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that one? All right, next is resolution number 21-106, approve application for a CLG grant for a window repair workshop.
Yes, so the state has leftover federal CLG funds for the 2021 cycle that need to be used by end of summer. These are matching funds. One of the things that we constantly get asked is on historic window repair, because we've got so many buildings, both in the commercial districts and in the residential districts, that have their original windows. And so I reached out to the state and to look at doing a workshop on that. We have the state, sort of the main firm that does historic restoration work in the state is up here to do work on the Princess, the Carnegie, and Morgan County archives and their windows. So I've asked them if they would be willing to do a hands-on workshop for us. These workshops are normally in Montgomery, but it isn't really possible for all of our residents and building owners to go to Montgomery easily, and I thought it would be easier if we could get the firm while they're up here to give one. Any building that is within we have 6 National Register districts. So we have Old Town East, Old Town West, we have Bank Street / Old Decatur, we have Albany, and we have 2nd Avenue. And any resident, building owner of any of those buildings is eligible for state and or federal tax credits, and one of the things you can get the tax credits for is restoring those historic windows. So we thought it might be helpful to bring a workshop up here.
Okay. What's the match on that one?
It is $1,600. Now, these are leftover funds from this year, so this would be in this year's budget. All of these are applications, so we're gonna make the applications. If awarded, we would come back to you at that point, and, but we have money in our grant match budget, not specifically for this, but if we were to get awarded, I would just come back to you in Finance Department. Dawn and I would work out. I mean, we've got money, it's just not designated for that. We just have to get y'all's approval to move it around.
Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, next, resolution number 21-107, approve application for a CLG historic grant for historic tax credit brochures.
So this is some of that leftover federal money that the state has for this fiscal year. And the other thing we were looking at was producing 2 pamphlets, one for federal and state tax credits that can be handed out to commercial business owners and building owners that are interested in that process. The other is for residents of the overlay of those historic districts, particularly with the influx of people moving into North Alabama from other regions, helping people that are purchasing properties in the neighborhood understand what the historic districts mean. So this would be a tool for realtors to use, as well as the Historic Decatur Association. The tax credit one would be more for community development, some realtors, but Rick Paler and community development as well, with those two.
Okay, any questions on that one?
The total that we have on this particular grant, we had $5,000, some preliminary estimates that we've gotten back. It's probably gonna be closer to $7,000. So it'll be a $7,000 grant with a $2,800 match. If awarded, we would get with Amy and show her the brochures that we have and work through those, to try to get the best price that we could get. But again, that's $7,000 with a $2,800 match. This one again would be in this year's budget. So we would, if awarded, we would come back to you with a funding source, more than likely out of our grant match budget for this year.
Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, next, resolution number 21-108, approved grant application for historic structures reports. Caroline.
This is for the 2021-2022 federal CLG grant cycle. I was looking at grant money. The city owns 5 historic structures. The Princess Theater, which is under a facade easement with the state. The stone structures, I'm treating them sort of as one at Delano Park, Carnegie Library, the railroad, the old passenger terminal. I've got 4, I'm missing one. I can't figure out which big, oh, Old State Bank. Yeah, that'd be the other one. And I was looking at grant money this year for what we call brick and mortar grant, like the city going after money to manage some of their long-term maintenance, deferred maintenance and repairs. But some of the best resources for those funds, we have to have what's called a historic structures report, which is essentially an architecture and engineering firm go in, lay out sort of the condition of the building and prioritize what needs work and what needs to be done. And that is sort of like a master plan that then is used for the next 1 to 2 decades as you move through building maintenance and work. Without an HSR, there was a $25,000 grant that I was looking at applying for, and we couldn't because we didn't have that foundational piece. So I am looking for funding for 2 HSRs, one for Fort Decatur and all of the other stone buildings in Delano as we start figuring out the long-term maintenance for those. The other for the Princess Theater. The Princess has had some significant damage. There's some spalling on that stucco. The state's ready to come back to us and say, okay, you're responsible for it. I want to be able to have an HSR to sort of say, this is our plan. We've got it together. We're going to go after funding. Here's who we're asking for money. But we need those HSRs to set it up.
Okay, any questions there?
A quick question. On the previous one, Alan, that's a 40% match. Why is the match so high on that $7,000?
It's 64, these are 60/40 grants.
Are they? Okay, didn't realize that. Thank you.
And this would be, we would just budget this in our budget cycle for this upcoming budget. They, if awarded, we wouldn't be, we wouldn't get it before next year anyway. So we'll just put that in our 2022 budget.
What's the amount on that one?
It's $24,800.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. They combined them into one. Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you. All right, next, resolution number 21-109, transfer funding from 4 drug fund accounts to a new drug fund software account to purchase software. Chief or anyone from the police department?
I am on here and I can't really remember what that one's for. Let me check on that one and see. But we're trying to transfer. Kyle, do you have?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Kyle's got you.
So I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know what software was purchased, but basically it was booked in the wrong account. And so because it was booked in the wrong account, it's deemed capital, and any capital item has to have a resolution passed by council. So essentially, we're asking for the resolution to be able to move it into its proper capital
No new
code.
money.
No, it's paid for out of the drug fund, so that's
Okay.
reserve money.
Okay.
But if you wanted to know what the software was, you'd have to ask Chief. I'm not sure what it does or what it is.
Okay. Any questions? It's just combining those into one.
Yeah, so the total cost of the software was $9,350. That makes it deemed a capital asset, but it got booked into an operating
The
code.
software that we were looking at purchasing is a computer software that could read the automobile computer in the event we have a collision resulting in a death. We can actually go into the computer of a car and read the computer and tell the speed, whether or not the seatbelts were being used, and what time, and just how we are to apply. That's what the software would do.
It's paid for out of our drug fund.
Okay. Any questions? I think we're good. Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you.
All right, next, ordinance's first reading, ordinance number 21-4461, declare surplus and sell 1809 Hampton Circle Southwest under the Dawn program.
Yes, sir. This is a lot that we have on 18 on Hampton Circle that the adjacent property owner is requesting purchasing. They've got one lot already there. They're going to purchase this lot, combine them, and build a house on these lots. The only difference that I would say in this lot in particular, and then most lots that we'll bring to you, is this lot is valued at like $9,000. So their agreement that we would do with Chip would just reflect a longer time period that they would have to, that they'd have to maintain it.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just a general Decatur Dome program.
Any questions on that one? Thanks, Alan. Well, you're still up. Ordinance number 21-4458, declare surplus and sale of Old Flint Fire Station.
This is one that we presented at the last meeting. It's just the Volunteer Fire Department is interested in purchasing this from the city. And they are ready to move on this because I get a call about once a week from the chief wanting to know when we're going to finalize this. So.
Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, ordinance number 21-4459, declare surplus and sell 220 12th Avenue Southwest under the DAWN program.
Yeah, just another program that we have, another adjacent property owner who wishes to purchase a lot.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. The next regular work session will be on May 10th, 2021 at 5 p.m. The next regular council meeting will be on May 17th, 2021 at 10 a.m. That's after our meeting next week. We do have public comment. Lisa Chadwell, if you want to come to the podium here and just state your name, and we'll give 3 minutes.
Okay.
For comment.
I'm Lisa Chadwell. I'm here for Granada Apartments on 11th Street Southeast. I'm here to address the speed of traffic and multiple accidents doing damage to our property at Granada. I want you to know that my first and foremost concern is for the residents. I have 176 families that live at Granada, and that is my first concern. We have had 6 accidents on our property. 4 of those were serious enough to do a police report. The first was January 28th, 2018. The next was not until May 9th, 2020. But the ones to follow were November 25th, 2020, March 2021, and the most recent was the 17th of this month. I have pictures if y'all would like to see to kind of visualize what has happened. Of 4 of the accidents, I believe, and they're dated so that you can see. There are a couple in there that are not, that I don't have police reports on, that are not on my property. One is directly across the street where a vehicle hit the embankment, left a bunch of car parts in the road and left. The other is the church that's right next door to us. They drove through their property. The one that was on November 25th, the vehicle actually went through an apartment window, and the gentleman was asleep about 3 feet in the bed because he's a shift worker. And that truck pulled out and left, and he hasn't been caught since then. That one scared me because he was so close. This next one, the one that happened in April, he actually flipped and was ejected partially from his vehicle, and had he not hit the tree that is in front of that same building, he would have gone through that same window. I did go through and I counted speed limit signs on 11th just to see how many there were on there, but not that too many people pay attention to that, but the speed is ridiculous through there. But there are, between 11th and 6th Avenue and Point Mallard Estates going west, there are 3 signs between 24th Avenue and Penny Lane. And going east, there is one at 13th Avenue and one at 20th Avenue. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm hoping that we can come to some kind of conclusion on what the best thing is, whether it be guardrails, whether it be speed bumps, something. It's normally the same vehicles that come through their speeding. Now, not the ones that have wrecked on there, but the ones that are speeding. This last wreck, there was alcohol involved, because he was taken to the emergency room. But that's, I'm just concerned for the people that live there.
Okay. Any questions from council? Mayor, can we maybe have somebody look into a solution there?
So you had discussions with the police department?
Well, I
beyond
did,
you?
after the second wreck, I did call the traffic division and explain my concerns, and that was just after the second one. They did tell me that they would have to do a traffic survey, but that was back, well, it'll be a year ago this coming month, and I haven't heard any response on that. I have called one other time since then, and I was told the same thing, but don't know of anything that had been done.
Mayor, could you have her to contact me the first thing in the morning to do a research on it, find out exactly what the study shows, and get with traffic engineering, with engineering, and see what we can do to best solve that problem for us.
Should she contact Jennifer's number?
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you.
I know you're in, I think that is in Mr. Pike's, is it in District 2?
Yes.
And I know he's on the phone, but I know he was gonna look into some solutions there too.
He was, I had spoken with him, I believe, right before he went out of town, and he explained to me he wasn't gonna be here, but he would be here over the phone.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa and I spoke this week, and we'll be sure to follow up with Mayor Boland and Chief Allen.
Okay. Yeah, let us, we'll try to find a solution. It sounds like a real issue.
Yeah.
Obviously, the one gentleman was sleeping in his room there, so, hopefully we can find a good solution for you
I
guys.
hope so too, and
Yeah.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, anything from directors? Anybody else got anything? Most of you are here tonight. I like it. Good to see you. Mayor, anything from you? Okay, anything else from council? All right, we are finished. Thank you.